This is part 3 of the Arithmetic Fundamentals whole number video. Part 3 is on supplements. Let's start by clearing our calculator. Supplements are extra explorations and applied applications that allow us to expand our knowledge of primes, capabilities, and understanding of the underlying math. We have selected the first supplement page, Expiration Basic Addition Facts Make List. We have entered into our calculator operations that we did with the list from our multiplication page. We had to solve this problem, and we used the list back here under multiplication to solve this problem. Let's return back to our expiration page. Let's review what we did in the past with the list operator. So we pressed the shift key and 8 to come up with the list braces. Then we entered the numbers separated by comma. After we had the list, we went to the sublist command. The easiest way to get there is to press the toolbox, go to list, scroll down until it's shown. The big advantage to the list command is that we can do 4 calculations with one command line statement, and with one operations we can sum up the whole list. Let's clear our calculator and start with this screen. Using the list operator, there are 2 ways that we can come up with the entries in this chart. We will just look at the first entries because to put all the problem in it would be too confusing. So what we're going to do is we look at our calculator and we put one list and a separate list, and when we add the elements inside each list, so the 0 and the 0 become 0, the 1 and the 0 become 1, the 2 and the 0 become 2, and the 3 and the 0 become 3. We add the representative ones from both lists together. Let's press enter and see the result. We repeat this process 3 more times. Let's look at the second method. Clear our screen. We need the braces for list. Zero plus 0. 0 plus 1. 0 plus 2. 0 plus 3. So what we do is add inside of our list with each element. Press enter. We need to repeat this process 4 more times to get the same answers that we got earlier by adding 2 lists together. Let's take a look at a function, make list, that will allow us to make the list easier than having to type it in manually. We can use the catalog to come up with the make list. As we talked about in earlier videos, there's another way to do it. If we go to the toolbox, if we switch to math, if it's on CAS and we switch to math, we see we have a list operator. So if we pick this list operator, the first one says make list, so this will give us the command. This is an easier way to do it than to use the catalog. The catalog has all the different functions in there, but we can get at the list operation for the home screen by using the toolbox and the math soft key. By pressing the help key, we get to this screen here. If we scroll down, we can see an example of the make list. In our example here, we have the expression, the variable, where we begin, where we end, and what the increment is optional. So what we do here is we put the expression is the same thing as the variable. We start at 0, we go to 9, we have an increment of 1. The second list that we start at 5. We have, for our expression, we have the variable lowercase x. We start at 0, we go to 9, we have an increment of 1, so this gives us all 5s. Then if we take this list plus this list and add them together, we end up with an entry in our table. So this way we can get the whole entry in our table, where up here we only got the partial entry in our table. The make list command was under the soft key math. Notice how we have this with capital letters. The soft key math refers to things that we will use when we are on the home screen. The CAS, computer algebra system, was the soft key CAS. The commands work in both places. So here we have switched it over to the CAS. When we're working with the make list command on the home screen, we can only use capital letters. When we're working with variable names in CAS, we get to use both uppercase and lowercase letters. The default for letters over here on the home screen is uppercase. The default for letters is lowercase. So to get the capital X over here, we will have to press the shift key and the alpha key to get the capital letter. Where over here, we will just have to press the alpha key and it will automatically be in uppercase. The make list command in the CAS window will work with both upper and lower case. This ends our discussion of expiration basic addition facts make list. The expiration basic multiplication facts make list is the exact same discussion as the addition. The only difference is now we use multiplication and we have the chart for multiplication. And down here, the same thing, we use different parameters for our list. The difference between this and addition is that the last two commands we do in the reverse order. Also, the last command in the addition, we had it in the command line, where here we actually executed the command. So we can come up with the entry by putting the two make list commands together, or we can come up with the answer by copying the one list and the second list separated by a multiplication. This ends our discussion of expiration basic multiplication facts make list. Our last supplement is the Build Back Better November 2021 proposal. This has died, but again, we can still look at the proposal from November to understand how we work with very large numbers. Let's get our calculator ready. So we'll press OK. Then we want to clear out the command line, so we'll press Escape. We want to clear out the history area, so we'll press Clear. Now our calculator is ready for our calculations that we do in the Build Back Better November 2021 proposal. There are two methods that we can use to work this problem. We can actually use the number with the E notation, or we can just use the number and use the words along with the numbers and take into account that 1,750 billion is the number that we want to use for 1.7 trillion, and when we end up with the answer being 1,195 billion, we want to change that to 1.195 trillion. For method 1, we go back to our place value page. When we were at our place value page, this is how we entered the trillion and billion using the E notation and using on our calculator EEX. So let's return now to the Build Back Better and go over and discuss this method. Method 1, 320, enter exponent, 9 plus 105, enter exponent, 9 plus 110. Enter exponent 9 plus 20. Enter exponent 9. Press enter, and the result turns out to be 555,000, comma 000, comma 000. Now we enter 1.75, enter exponent 12, subtract, copy this number, and press enter, and the answer turns out to be 1.95 e to the 12th, which would be 1.195 trillion, which is our answer we were looking for with method 1. Now we do method 2. 320 plus 105 plus 110 plus 20, enter. This turns out to be 555 billion. Then we have to convert our 1.75 trillion to billion, so we put in 1,750 billion. We subtract, we copy this number down, press enter, and get our answer to be 1,195. We have to convert that, or 1,195 billion. We have to convert that to trillion. So this turns out to be 1.195 trillion. This ends our Arithmetic Fundamental Whole Number Part 3 video.